Welcome to Write a Winning Resume with Walden's Department of Career Planning and Development. Did you know that resume writing is the #1 reason why Walden students and graduates reach out to our department? If you've ever struggled with writing an impactful resume in the past, you are definitely not alone. Career Planning and Development can help you write a great resume and make that process easier for you. First of all, for those of you who are new to career planning and development, our department's mission is to support both students and alumni in developing workplace skills to thrive as professionals and social change agents in organizations and in communities. Our department is a part of the Office of Student Affairs, and we're here to support you during the pursuit of your Walden degree and beyond. And although we are focusing specifically on resumes today, we want you to know that we also have a multitude of resources and offerings that are available on our website to help you manage your career. We strongly encourage you to visit our website at careercenter.waldenu.edu after this program to learn more about our offerings. Now, let's get started with our agenda. We will begin by exploring the resume resources that are available on the Career Planning and Development website to build your resume. After that, we will review general formatting tips to ensure that you have a clean, professional-looking document. We will then focus on more advanced resume writing skills, such as how to highlight your unique value to an employer through a branding statement, how to write strong accomplishment statements that showcase your skills, and strategies on how to tailor your resume towards specific job and professional opportunities. So let's start with our resume resources. There are two main ways to access the Career Planning and Development website. You can either go to the site through your Walden student portal or navigate to the site directly at careercenter.waldenu.edu. All of our resume resources can be found on the horizontal navigation bar under the Resumes and More tab. And here you can access resume writing tips and basic outlines, custom resume samples, information about using the Skills First career management system to build your resume, which we will discuss later on in today's program, helpful resume writing videos and information on cover letters, career portfolios, and other topics that you may want to explore. Next, we're going to highlight some of these key resume resources in more detail. One takeaway from today's session is that you do not need to start writing your resume from scratch. We provide you the tools to get started. The Skills First Career Management System is one of our signature offerings, and it can help you build a quality resume using its 500+ modern, easy-to-use samples that are available inside the system. You can find additional information about the Skills First system on the Resumes and More tab, along with easy-to-follow step-by-step guides to help you navigate the system. Select one of the resume samples you'd like to use, and then use it to build your resume. Learn more about how to use Skills First from our website or by referring to the Resumes and More link in the resource list that is provided with this program. If you are a Walden student, you can log into Skills First using your Walden email and password. And if you are an alum who no longer has access to your Walden credentials, reach out to our team at Career Services at mail.waldenu.edu, and we'll send you a special alumni access code to set up your Skills First account. Another great feature of Skills First is that it includes custom samples that are tailored to many Walden University programs. Our department partners with academic leaders across the university to build custom resume samples to meet the needs of specific programs and the needs of Walden students and graduates. And together, we have developed over 40 Walden Preferred Resume samples that you can review on the Resumes and More tab, Custom Samples button. For your convenience, there is also a link to the Custom Samples page in the resource list. Featured on the slide are a few popular fields with custom samples, including psychology, public policy, counseling, education, business, healthcare, nursing, and there are a lot more as well. These samples can help you quickly highlight not only your professional experience, but also your academic knowledge areas, specialized skills, volunteer experience and accomplishments to help you stand out in the job search. So choose a sample that best fits your needs, then log into Skills First to select that sample and use it to build your document. Also, remember that all of our resources and samples are there to guide you. So always remember to use your own language when creating your application materials. I also wanted to mention that we have over 40 video and webinar recordings available on career-related topics. You might be interested in the Build a High-Impact Resume workshop, which you can watch on demand from our website. And this is a great program to continue boosting your resume writing skills and take them to the next level. And if you're a doctoral student or graduate, we invite you to watch Develop Your Academic CV to learn how to create a curriculum vitae, which is a document that is often used when applying for higher ed, research, or leadership positions. If you are struggling with writing cover letters, watch the Career Skills program create a custom cover letter to save time and make that process easier. Now, I will turn it over to Denise to guide us deeper into resume writing.
Thanks, Dina. So the purpose of a resume is to effectively communicate who you are as a professional. You want your resume to capture the interest of your audience with the goal of receiving an invitation for an interview. The interview might be for a job, an internship, volunteer position, scholarship, or fellowship, but most typically it'll be for a job application. So when you are applying for a job, you want your resume to not only show that you're qualified, but that you are one of the most qualified candidates for the position. Organizations can easily get over 100 applications per job opening. So how well you market yourself, your skills, experience, achievements, and education will directly impact your chance of being invited for an interview. Also, keep in mind that most organizations use applicant tracking systems to screen resumes for key qualifications related to the position. You want your resume to make it through this automated screening process so that it gets reviewed by a human. The advice Dina and I are offering in this session is designed to help you craft a resume that makes it through applicant tracking systems and impresses the person or committee reviewing your documents so that they extend an invitation for you for an interview. So next, let's start by going over some formatting tips. So to create a strong resume, both formatting and content are important. These tips will help you create a polished, professional-looking resume. Rule number 1 is to be consistent. Use a 14 to 18 point font size for your name and 11 to 12 point font size for content. Use common font styles such as Calibri, Arial, Verdana, Garamond, Helvetica, or Times New Roman. Also, make sure your margins are between 0.7 and 1 inch. Minimize the use of color. If you do want to use color, we recommend using a dark green or a dark blue and avoid using the color red. Also, you can use bolding, italicize, and bullet points, but avoid overusing these features or your document's going to look a bit cluttery. Keep the length to no more than 3 pages unless you're applying for USA federal jobs. Federal resumes aren't restricted to the 1 to 3 page recommendation that we have listed here. They can be longer. Also, avoid using personal pronouns like I, me, and my. And then finally, double check your spelling and your grammar. So next, let's take a high-level look at a sample resume. Here's an example of a resume for a PhD in management student seeking a business analyst position. We can see the main sections, the header, summary, experience, education, and some additional sections. The education section can be placed before or after the experience section. We recommend placing your education section just below your summary if you're making a career transition and your education is your most important qualification. Otherwise, the education section is typically near the end of the resume. Also, notice the formatting on our sample. The section headers are all centered and the dates are all on the right. There isn't only one right way to do this, but there are best practices. And as we mentioned on the previous slide, it's important to be consistent. So next, let's delve deeper into each section. So your contact information should be at the top of your document in the header. Start by including your first name, middle initial if you have one, and your last name. And after your name, you can include your highest graduate level credential earned. Here we can see that Teresa has her name and her MBA credential in a larger font size and bolded to stand out. Next, include your geographical location. You don't need to add your street address any longer if you don't want to. And then include your phone number. And if you're in an active job search, make sure that you have a professional sounding voicemail message on your phone. And check to make sure that your voicemail isn't full so someone can leave you a message. Also include an email address. Avoid using a work email address or one that sounds silly or unprofessional. If you're searching for a practicum or internship to fulfill your academic program requirements, we recommend using your Walden email address. If you're searching for a job, we recommend using a personal email address. If you have a career portfolio, a professional website, or if you're on LinkedIn, you can add these links as well, although they're optional. If you add a link to your LinkedIn profile, though, be sure that your profile is up to date. Dina, do you have any other additional input about the header section?
Yes, I do, Denise. Many Walden students have multiple graduate degrees, certifications, or licensures. If you have multiple credentials, only list your highest degree earned after your name, followed by your most relevant certification or licensure.
Oh, great. Thanks, Dina. So now let's take a look at the summary section. That would typically be your next section. So the summary is one of the most important sections on your resume. It could be called summary or career summary or profile Or you could use a title describing your professional brand. It could be in a bulleted format, a paragraph, or a combination of the two. Your summary should communicate your professional brand and sum up your top skills and achievements. You want to include keywords related to the position you're targeting. We can see here that Teresa shares specific information about her skills and experience, and she quantifies her years of experience as well. She also includes information about her technical skills. She states that she has expertise in Microsoft Visio, Excel, Tableau, Google Analytics, and SPSS. Also, if you speak more than one language, be sure to include this information in your summary as well. Dina, what do you think is the most common mistake you see students make in the summary section?
Denise, I often see in the summary section that students are creating sections that are too generic, and the section is not tailored to the specific position a student is applying for. So my advice is to remember to capture your reader's attention by including specific skills and achievements and using keywords in your industry.
Thanks, Dina. I often see that same mistake as well. So next, let's move on and go over the education section. So your education section should be listed in reverse chronological order, with the most recent or current program at the top. Your degree is the most important information to a potential employer, so we recommend listing your degree first and bolding it as we show here. So in this example, we have the graduation dates listed on the right. We follow this pattern throughout the entire resume to give the document a balanced and visual appearance. If you haven't completed your program yet, list your expected graduation year. If you expect to graduate this year, then also include the month. Dina, do you have any other suggestions for information that could go in the education section?
I do, Denise. If you completed a dissertation, you could include the title or topic of your dissertation in this section. And if you are applying to field experience sites, you may also want to include your GPA if it is a 3.5 or higher. You could also include honors such as magna cum laude or summa cum laude in this section.
Great, thanks, Dina. So next, moving on, let's go over the experience section. Here you can see that the title of the experience section in our example here is business experience, to highlight Teresa's business expertise. She also has a section titled additional experience that lists positions that don't directly relate to her target job. The additional experience section is an optional section. Section titles can be adjusted to reflect your own experience. If you're moving into a new field, though, you may want to consider a more general title such as experience or professional experience. In this example, Teresa lists her job title in bold first, followed by the organization and the location. The dates of employment are on the right. You could use 2 lines for this information instead of 1 as shown here. Also notice that the bullet points start with action verbs and include accomplishments. Dana's going to be discussing how to create strong accomplishment statements coming up in a few slides. So next, let's go over a few suggestions for additional sections. So here are a couple of examples of additional sections that you might want to add. By including professional affiliations that you're a member of, you're showing that you are an involved professional in your field. Research shows that many employers value relevant community involvement. So this is also an excellent section to add. And if you have licensure and multiple certifications, you could list them in a separate licensure and certification section. You might also want to include sections on publications, professional development, or some of your graduate coursework. Another option to showcase your technology skills rather than including them in your summary is to create a separate section specifically for technology skills. Think about when adding additional sections, make sure that the sections are relevant to your audience. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Dina to share a few advanced strategies to help you stand out on your resume and get noticed. So Dina, it's back over to you.
Thanks, Denise. In this next section, we will like to introduce 3 specific strategies that can make your resume more effective, more intriguing, and more noticeable amidst the many other applicants who may be applying for the same job. We will show you how to highlight your unique brand, develop strong accomplishment statements to showcase your achievements, and quickly tailor your resume to a specific job posting. Let's start with including a branding statement in your summary section. The branding statement is used to help those individuals who are reading your resume, whether they are recruiters, hiring managers, or professionals in your field, to quickly grasp the unique value you will bring through your experience, through your skills, and through your achievements. The branding statement is typically the first sentence in your summary of qualifications section that appears at the top of your resume. Many people struggle with creating an impactful branding statement because it is often difficult to know what to highlight. Therefore, we decided to break down the branding statement into several parts to make that process easier. Let's build a branding statement together. And as we do this, we encourage you to reflect on your own unique brand and create your statement together with us. The first step is to select 1 or 2 adjectives that best describe you. Think about what you're best known for. What are you most passionate about in your field? In our example here, the adjective is student-centered, since the individual is strongly committed to educating students. The second step is to review your work, volunteer, and academic experience, and then reflect on previous roles that you held throughout the years. In our example, you can see that the individual highlighted her roles as an instructor because she taught GED courses, as a mentor because she mentored kids in her community, and also as a coach because she coached other instructors. And next, quantify your years of experience in those roles. How much combined experience do you have? Remember that the experience can also come from volunteering or internships, not just paid experience. So in this example, she had 5 years of combined experience in the 3 roles that she mentioned. The last step is to include several specialty areas that directly relate to the job. In our example, the person is applying for a position in higher education. So the specialty areas she included are teaching online and in-person GED courses. She also provided details about the population of students she taught, which were adult learners from 10+ countries and regions. Now let's put it all together. The adjective, roles, years of experience, and specialty areas. And our final branding statement is student-centered instructor, mentor, and coach with over 5 years of experience teaching online and in-person GED classes to adult learners from 10+ countries and regions. Next, let's look at a few additional branding statements for ideas. We are going to share 3 branding statements taken from our custom resume samples. The first one that you see here is an entry-level statement from someone who is changing careers. It highlights the individual's roles as a student, as a volunteer, and project leader, along with knowledge areas in their field. The second example is from a mid-career professional who is a client-centered community advocate and caseworker with 4+ years of experience. Notice the specific populations of clients they highlight, including adults and children who are experiencing trauma, homelessness, mental illness, and physical and developmental disabilities. The last example that you see here is from a public health leader with over 10 years of experience managing public health programs and projects, supervising staff, partnering with community and government organizations, and using data to guide public health policies and decisions. Again, notice the specific details here in these statements. It is very clear what their specialty areas are and what level of experience they offer. If needed, take a few moments to review these examples in more detail. We hope that breaking down the branding statement and referring to these examples will help you generate ideas on how to communicate your unique brand. Next, let's work on developing and strengthening the accomplishment statements on a resume. Accomplishment statements typically appear right after your branding statement in the summary section, and also they appear throughout your experience section. If you are just starting out and do not have a lot of work experience in your field, but you do have relevant volunteer or internship experience, you can also add accomplishment statements to your volunteer or internship experience sections. To develop strong accomplishment statements, always start with a strong action verb. For example, led, initiated, supervised, managed, and directed are all examples of action verbs that highlight leadership skills. In the example on the slide, the individual chose the action verb evaluated, since she is highlighting her program evaluation experience. The next step is to provide specific details, quantify or add numbers when possible, and incorporate industry keywords. Your accomplishment statement should be detailed, yet very concise. In this example, she quantified the number of programs, 3, included the specific metrics she used, both quantitative and qualitative metrics, and shared who she presented the findings to. She also avoided using filler words such as needed, responsible for, various, or as necessary. Instead, every word in this accomplishment statement helps demonstrate that she is a strong researcher and presenter, 2 skills that she is trying to convey through this statement. And finally, the third step is to include outcomes or results whenever possible. In this example, her initiatives increased employee product understanding by 32%. So next, let's look at a few additional examples of strong accomplishment statements for ideas. We are going to share examples of accomplishment statements for various professional roles: entry-level, mid-level, advanced, and also leadership roles. The entry-level example is for a career changer who is highlighting relevant skills and responsibilities that would benefit their future job target. The mid-level sample incorporates many keywords to showcase their level of expertise. The advanced sample includes numbers to convey the scope of their responsibility and expertise in budgeting. And finally, the leadership sample focuses on leading and supervising other HR professionals. Again, adding numbers helps the reader understand the level of the responsibility. To help you get started with writing your accomplishment statements, we would also like to share that we have a list of action verbs on our website and also in your resource handout. And on this list, you'll find action verbs that highlight research, communications, leadership, technical, and other types of skills. As you write your accomplishment statements, think about the impact you made in organizations where you worked or where you volunteered. How did you make a difference? What improvements did you make? Were you recognized for your efforts? This is not a time to be shy. Let your audience know what it is that you have achieved. And now let's discuss the last important strategy to ensure that you have a powerful resume that can move you through the application process. One of the most important and also most difficult steps in effective resume writing is tailoring the document toward a specific organization, employer, or job posting. We often get questions from students about whether it is even necessary to tailor their documents to specific opportunities. And the answer is always yes. Each and every resume that you send out should be tailored to increase your chances of advancing in the interview process. The good news is that we have a strategy to help you save time and effort in tailoring your document by quickly matching your qualifications to employers' needs. Let's start with selecting a job posting for our example here today. Did you know that Walden has a job board where employers and members of the Walden community can post jobs and other experiential opportunities? Take a moment to click on the Walden Job and Internship Locator link provided on our website and also in your resource list. Here you can search for the types of positions you may be interested in pursuing today or maybe sometime in the future. For the purpose of our demonstration, we selected a family housing case manager position. Most positions you find will have some information about the organization, the duties and responsibilities for that position, and the job requirements. Review the information very carefully to identify the key skills and tasks that they are looking for. Then ask yourself, which of these skills and tasks have I acquired through my academic, work, or volunteer experience? One way to help you with this activity is to create a skills match table. It is fairly simple to put together a skills match table. Start by creating 2 columns, with the first column for employers' needs, and then the second column for your skills and qualifications. In this example, we took some of the key requirements from the job posting and listed them under employers' needs. Our sample student is a BS in Human Services graduate who does not have work experience yet. However, she has volunteered in a youth crisis center and also at the National Organization for Human Services. Throughout her prior volunteer roles and education, she has gained knowledge and skills that would be very valuable to this specific employer. So let's complete the skills match table for our applicants. To let the employer know that she has over 1 year of experience, she quantified her years of experience as a crisis center volunteer serving youth who are experiencing homelessness. She also mentioned the training she received in crisis intervention. To demonstrate a strong understanding of the case management process, she included the specific steps in the process, such as assessments, treatment plans, linking, monitoring, and evaluation. She highlighted how she used Microsoft 365 tools, Zoom, and Canvas technologies to facilitate communication and also to deliver presentations. She mentioned her involvement in the National Organization for Human Services to demonstrate her communication skills. And finally, she gave evidence of her understanding of equity and inclusion and ability to excel in a diverse environment. We encourage you to take some time to review these examples in more detail and then create your own skills match table when applying for jobs. Select a job posting, review the skills and qualifications that are needed, create your table, and then add your relevant accomplishment right into your resume summary or experience sections. This will help you successfully tailor your document toward the employer's needs and also show that you are a perfect match for the position. We hope that learning about available resume resources, formatting, and advanced resume skills has equipped you with the tools that you need to take your resume to the next level. We invite you to continue engaging in your career development by visiting our website, scheduling a career advising appointment, reaching out to our teams through email, following us on social media, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and also reading articles and student success stories on our blog. Please remember that we are here to assist you throughout your Walden journey and beyond. So please reach out to us if you would like additional support.